Hello, and welcome to the first session of this little mini course, which is designed around concepts around helping people to create the reality that they're really looking for and a life that they love. And it's just education on mindset and how the mind works, how consciousness works, and how reality is created. So in this first session, I wanted to talk to you about what it is that actually creates your reality. So very simply, what creates your reality is your focus. And what I mean by that is it's where your consciousness has its attention. So the next question is, well, what is your consciousness? And one of my favorite teachers on this subject is a guy called Michael Singer. And his favorite question is to ask the question, hello, are you in there? And of course, your reaction is going to be yes, hello, and you wave back. And that's showing you that you are in there. That is, you are conscious, you are in there, and you are aware that you are experiencing the outside world, you're experiencing your inner thoughts, and you're experiencing your emotions. So it's your consciousness that is experiencing those things. And, if anyone was ever to say no to that question, well, who just answered no, right? So I think we can agree and we can all come to the conclusion that you are in there, and this you is consciousness. So intuitively, you are aware of your consciousness and that you are consciousness. So we'll go a little bit deeper into that. But first, I want to talk about some of the laws of the universe. And one of the laws of the universe is that you can be, do, and have whatever it is that you can imagine. Now, I know straight away that pretty much everyone is going to reject that because your own life experience does not reflect that truth. But I promise you that it is truth. And in some other spiritual texts, it's written in other ways as ask and you shall receive, or seek and you shall find. So the truth is that you are actually always asking for something. You're just unaware of how you ask and what you're asking for. So that's part of why this first law of the universe doesn't seem true. And another reason why this law doesn't seem true is because the second law is you will attract most what you fear. So what you fear most, or what you fear strongly, you will experience. And this is because emotion is the power that attracts things to you. So a great teacher on this subject is Joe Dispenza. And the way he describes it is he says, your thoughts are what goes out into the universe, or the divine matrix, or the quantum field, and then it's your emotions that bring it back to you. So this is the completing of the circle. So this is why the first law of you can be, do, and have what you can imagine doesn't reflect your experience in life, because you are mostly focused on, with emotion, what you fear. So you draw that to you. Now, the reason why you draw things to you based on your emotion is because emotion is energy. So it's energy in motion, and that's where you get the word emotion from. So everything in the universe is just energy, and energy is always moving. It's always in motion. There is nothing in the universe that ever sits still. It's always moving. So when you move energy, you're going to create an effect. Another law is the law of cause and effect. It's something I'm sure that most people would have heard about. So through the cause of moving energy, you're going to create an effect. So these are simply now just the laws of physics. If you move energy enough, what ends up happening is you create matter. You create physical matter. So matter is energy that is conglomerated. It's just come together and joined together. And if you manipulate energy long enough in a certain way, you will get physical matter. This is literally the alchemy of the universe. It's the secret to how all of life is created. So this is how you are also creating your energy, your reality. And obviously it starts with your thoughts. So everything you create always starts in the mind with your thoughts. And your thoughts are pure creative energy. It's another thing that science is now saying. They can measure your thoughts as energy. Once again, another law. I know I'm talking about a lot of laws, but it's important to understand how this all works and how the universe creates and how you create. So another law is around energy, that like energy will attract other like energy. Many people speak about this law. They call it the law of attraction. So it's literally where same vibrations of energy will be attracted to each other and they will come together. So once you have a lot of like energy together, it literally forms matter. And this is the only way matter ever comes into existence in the universe. This is literally, like I said, how the universe was created. So to pull all that sort of science stuff together in a physical example, you can see that when people who are like-minded and they think the same way, they will come together to co-create a joint reality or a reality together. So, you know, you're in a business and you can understand that having a business is an example of this. So people, they come together who are like-minded, they have the same thoughts, they have the same ideas, they come together and they create something out of nothing. They literally create a physical business that wasn't there before. So it's just an example and a metaphor to help you understand some of the concepts that we're talking about. So getting back to why you don't seem to be able to create what you truly want, even though it's available to you, it is one of the laws of the universe. It's because what you fear most, you will create the most. That's the second law. And you are not really conscious of this, but you are mainly focused on what you don't want to happen. So you have all of your conscious attention, which is your creative power, with a lot of emotion on what you don't want to happen, which is just another name for what you fear. So therefore, you're drawing those energies to you, which, as I've just explained, creates physical matter in physical form. And this is what you're actually asking for. So wherever the attention of your consciousness is focused is what you're asking for. It's what you're choosing. So we've established that, you know, what you focus on is what creates your reality, and what you are mostly focused on is what you fear and what you don't want to happen. So can you start to see the problem here, or can you start to see why it is that you're not creating the reality that you would like to create, even though, you know, like I said, it's available to you? So just have some compassion for yourself, because it's not your fault. It's not that you're broken. You're not doing anything wrong. It's not that you're a bad creator. It's just that you are unaware of how this all works. And you're not meaning to create these unwanted things. It's just that you are very unconscious of how creation works. And you're very unconscious of where your focus is, where your consciousness has its attention. So this is a big part of why I love to talk about the stuff and teach this stuff. Obviously, I've learned it for myself, which has been very helpful, but it's about then passing it on to other people to give them back the power through this knowledge, through this wisdom, that you can then create your life more consciously, more deliberately, basically. And you can actually start to live more and more the first truth of the universe, which is you can be, do, and have whatever it is that you can imagine. This is really cool. It's really empowering to hear this. And I hope I'm putting this in a simple way. So there's two very successful people, Warren Buffett and Bill Gates. They both own businesses. One's obviously the owner of Microsoft. And they were asked separately, they weren't in the same room, they were asked separately, what is the greatest thing that has led to your success? They both used one word, and it was the same word, and it was focus. So I'm sure they didn't really consciously understand how the universe works in terms of how it's created, but they intuitively knew through their own experience of creating that it was focus, or wherever their attention was, that was the most important part about how they created their success. So what we've established so far is that you are in there, you are consciousness. Okay, if you ever need a reminder of this, just look in the mirror and wave. You'll see that you're in there and you are experiencing this life. So now your consciousness is where your power to create comes from. And you are creating by what you are choosing. And you're choosing by where your consciousness has its attention. So where this becomes tricky, and where most people find that they are not creating what they truly want, is because you are very unaware and unconscious of where your consciousness has its attention most of the time. And most of the time, it is focused, not by your fault, but it's focused on your fears and what you don't want to happen. So in the next video, we'll expand more on where your focus is most of the time, because until you can become consciously aware of where that is, then you can't actually shift it to where you want it to be. So I'm excited to talk about that, and we'll do that in the next video.